test, you got him for a breast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Hello race fans, welcome to the Homestead Miami Speedway here in Homestead, Florida, as we are here for one last time for 2017's Hardline Racing League Fast Track Sim Hardline Truck Series, as we are on round 19 out of 19 championship truck race. I'm Tanner Sharp, and alongside me in the booth pulling the double duty is Mr. David Everly. He's doing all the camera work and he's helping me call the action tonight. Dave, welcome to Homestead Miami Speedway. This racetrack is a 1.5 mile speedway in Homestead, Florida, and the banking on this racetrack is 18 to 20 degrees of banking, progressive banking. So a lot of banking to work with, and 3 degrees of banking on the straightaway, so relatively flat. So welcome to Homestead Miami Speedway, aka also known as your championship track. What is your experience on racing the virtual world of Homestead?
It's a fun track, it's a fast track, it's a challenging track. So these drivers are going to have their hands full here tonight. Is taking a look at our point standing coming into the final race. Tyler Hensley's the man out on point right now. Michael Fennelson sitting in second, 13 points behind. Thomas Bressy, the third, sitting in third with just 28 points behind. So got a few. Thomas Bressy and Michael Fennelson are hoping that Tyler Hensley has a bad day to try to take that championship away from him.
And speaking of Michael Fennelson, I am currently not seeing him on the entry list. So if he does not show up for tonight's race, that means Tyler Hensley has locked up the championship. But hold the phone here, folks. There is a battle for position in the points right now, Dave. And that battle for position is a top 5 in points between Timothy Moore and Corey Blevins, separated by 2 points. So Timothy Moore 481 and Corey Blevins 479. So that's something we are going to keep an eye on as this race goes on today. We'll see before the checkered flag falls, before they grid, to see if Michael Fennelson shows up. Otherwise, everything else is pretty far apart in the point standings. Let's talk about the drivers just a little bit here, Dave. We were at, I think it was Lucas Oil Raceway a week ago, and that was checkered flag by Thomas Bresci, and that was actually kind of a wrecking racetrack. A lot of drivers getting involved in incidents, and it was Thomas Bresci coming away with the win. Corey Blevins had a very strong run. Started from the pole and finished second at Lucas Oil Raceway. And championship leader Tyler Hensley, who increased his championship lead, leading 41 laps, finished in the top 3 in third. So now we're at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Let's talk about the weather a little bit. It could be some side effects from the virtual Hurricane Irma, but hopefully everybody down in Florida stays safe, and we pray for those in that disaster down in Texas as well. But anyways, the weather for Homestead tonight is overcast, setting 80 degrees, and the track temperature is also 80 degrees, so relatively warm out there. But with an overcast setting, Dave, like this, it's going to provide cooler temperatures on the racetrack. You're not going to see the temperature go up to like 113 or 107 degrees. It's going to relatively stay the same. So an overcast setting on an iRacing sim means it's going to open up multi-groove racing, and that's something I'm really going to watch for tonight, because if it was sun was out, a lot of these drivers would be fighting for the higher side of the racetrack. In an overcast setting, you can run the bottom lane anywhere you go, and the tires don't fall off merely as bad as if the sun was beating down on the racetrack. So it's definitely going to be something to watch for today. Humidity is 55%, and the wind's coming from the north. So, Dave, yeah, with that being said, this is going to be a fun race to watch. I agree with you, and this is a challenging track as well, because in an overcast setting, it opens up multi-groove racing. So you don't know what really the line is going to be. Maybe it's going to be the bottom lane in the first opening laps, but I'm going to be wondering to see if anything changes as a run goes on.
Yeah, most definitely. But look now, Tanner, qualifying is over, so we're going to give these drivers a few minutes to get into their trucks, get out on the grid, and we're going to be getting ready to go green flag race here at Homestead.
Absolutely, and by the way, folks, the fuel can or fuel load in these cars is 54%. So we're talking at least, I'm going to say, about anywhere from 25 to 28 laps approximately on a 1.5 mile racetrack like this. Maybe a little more. It could be about 30 laps, since it is 54 and it's a little bit above that 50% limit. All right, Dave, let's grid them up here for this 95 lap race here at Homestead in these trucks. Tom Bourne is going to capture the pole here tonight. He was the fastest in practice. Tyler Hensley, championship leader, is going to start in second tonight. He was second and fastest as well. Joshua Adams in the 88 is going to start third. Walker, Texas Thomas Ranger is going to start in fourth. Mr. Levi Zielinski is going to start off in the 5th spot. Thomas Bresci will start in 6th place tonight. He was the Lucas Oil Raceway winner from last week. Corey Blevins will start in 7th. Timothy Moore in 8th. Patrick McLaurin in 9th. And Rusty Capel rounding out that top 10. Cody Tabor, league organizer, is going to start in 11th tonight. He was the last driver to take a qualification time. Casey Shue in the 4 truck is going to start in 12th. Baron Labosco in 13th. And rounding out this 14-car field tonight that we're going to have is Justin Richer. Interesting names, Dave, and it's going to be, it should be a lot of fun racing here at Homestead, especially, and a lot of these guys should have a lot of control over their cars. Lap times are really close. This is a fixed setup, so everybody is driving the same setup. So it's really made some close lap times. Get this. Tom Bourne, so far on top of the board in qualification, ran a 30.636. Tyler Hensley ran a 30.644, so just 100,000ths of a second quicker.
Yeah, most definitely. But I tell you what, these drivers are ready to finish up this season, get ready for the next season here as the pace car brings them off pit road. We are going to do a pace lap before we go green flag racing for 95 laps here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
With that being said, with the absence of Michael Fennelson, that would mean Tyler Hensley, who's starting 2nd place tonight, would capture and would actually capture the championship right now. Yeah, he would actually. So congratulations right now to Tyler Hensley on the championship. But we still got some racing to do, though. I still want to see who's going to get that top 5 spot between Timothy Moore and Corey Blevins. and both are in the field tonight. That is 7th and 8th place. So that is something I like to keep an eye on tonight for the race viewers. Even though it's not for the championship, but those two are still battling for a top 5 spot in points. It's just a matter of who's going to get it. So here we go. Pace car sends in turns 3 and 4. 14 drivers tonight. Pace car is going to make a hard left to the pit road. And today we did had an iRacing update, a huge iRacing update actually. It took me about 5 minutes to even update it. And green flag, we're out at Homestead Miami Speedway for the final time in 2017. Down in turn number... Oh, go ahead, Dave.
Tyler Hensley, they're running on that outside, the 40 of Tom Bourne on the inside. But here comes the 88. Joshua Adams, he is sticking his nose in here as he is going to get underneath the 46 of Hensley coming down the backstretch.
Down that long back straightaway, entering turn 3 for the first time. Many drivers using the middle to bottom through the racetrack. The highest one I'm seeing, I do believe it would be Timothy Moore and Tyler Hensley, as the 40 truck of Tom Bourne is going to lead the first lap. Here comes Joshua Adams in the 88. He's going to challenge side-by-side down in turn number 1 on Tom Bourne.
The 12 of Walker Thomas, he is getting into the inside there of Levi Zielinski as he is going to overtake that number 4 position as he is now got his eyes set on the 46 of Tyler Hensley. Also the 25 machine of Thomas Bressy currently sitting right there in 7th on the outside as he has got Corey Blevins there on the inside of him as they are battling side by side, 2 abreast here.
I have to correct myself. A lap ago, I thought that was Tom Bourne up there in the higher, or not Tom Bourne, Timothy Moore in the higher line, but that was actually Thomas Bressy utilizing the high line on lap 1. But meanwhile, back up front for that battle for the top spot, it is Joshua Adams still challenging, using the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to go after the race lead on Tom Bourne. Tom Bourne actually getting a lot of grip in that middle groove of the track. He's going to get a nice run on the exit of turn number 4 to complete lap 3.
Still a long race ahead, though, as these guys trying to get single file here. Meanwhile, Zielinski still under fire from the 12 of Walker Thomas, Thomas Bressy, and Corey Blevins right behind him also going at it. But Timothy Moore there in the 74 Bass Pro Shop machine is just sitting right there, just kind of watching the battle. Picking his lines here is that for the most part, we're pretty single file except for right here.
I would say from Walker Thomas on back, Dave, I'm going to utilize one of your words here. And it's going to be called a hornet's nest. It's actually starting to thin out a little bit as I'm calling it out. But those guys were side by side for like the first opening laps of this race.
Yeah, as they all now single file there. As it looked like the 59 machine of Zielinski was thinking about trying to go to the inside of Walker Thomas. But Walker Thomas there trying to get up to Tyler Hensley. As Tyler Hensley is sitting right there in the 3rd position, just kind of riding. But meanwhile, Tom Bourne out front is actually kind of pulled away a little bit from Joshua Adams sitting there in 2nd.
So far, so good. Clean racing in the opening laps here at Homestead. Tom Bourne, as you said, out front. Adams in 2nd. Trying to see who's going to be a mover. There isn't really has been a mover since the drop of the green flag, but we've had a driver that has actually fallen back since the drop of the green flag, and that is actually Patrick McLaurin. He started 9th. He's fallen out of the top 10 in 11th right now. Casey Shoes gaining 2 spots since the drop of the green flag. Started 12th, cracking now the top 10. So something to keep an eye on as the race goes on here, just seeing who's going to be the biggest movers. Even though it's a relatively a small field tonight, these guys still know how to race against each other. They're relatively clean, probably with the exception last week at Lucas Oil Raceway, but that can be expected since that is a short track and one of the most technical short tracks on the sim of iRacing.
Yeah, these guys have raced all season together, so they definitely know how to race around each other. Right now we're just completing lap 8 of 95 here, so still looking at 88 laps left. So I think we're going to see some green flag pit stops, so I think pit strategy is going to be a key component here tonight.
Well, with that being said, Dave, I'm going to have to get out my trusty old calculator, and hopefully I don't mess myself up on a fuel strategy, because I'd love to see a fuel strategy if all possible. But nonetheless, I'm kind of watching these guys as they're turning laps here at Homestead. What kind of lines? Are they changing up their line? Tom Bourne out front has changed up the line just a little bit. Joshua Adams still trying to use that bottom line down there by the white line, but he keeps drifting up a little bit, so that means he's tight. I am seeing Tyler Hensley, championship leader, who's locked up the championship. He's actually currently still using that higher line, getting a nice exit, but he loses that on entry, and he is battling side by side with Walker Thomas. Walker Thomas does have a couple of wins this season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he does. He's got 3 wins so far this season from last win, Chicagoland Speedway, about a month ago on August 9th, Kansas Speedway, and Gateway earlier this season.
Yes, he's able to get around Tyler Hensley, but Tyler Hensley looking to that inside, wanting to get back up there, but now Tyler Hensley's got the 59 of Levi Zielinski. He is challenging him on the outside. So it looks like that outside place really is not the place to be right now, as it seems that inside lane is getting the good run into the turn. Is Tyler Hensley still battling Levi, but looks like it's about the only battle right now on the track there, Tanner.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm watching Levi Zielinski, and it looks like Tyler Hensley really hitting that apron there, kind of washed up the track just a tick. You know, giving a lot of room, but here comes Zielinski, that run off that high side. I think that high side would only work if you're really side by side with him. You have to be door to door with that driver like Zielinski was with Hensley, and he could really get a run on corner exit. That's where the high side comes in, and that's what iRacing Dynamic Tracks allows you to do. But I tell you what, on entry, if you're side by side, the guy on the inside can really beat you. Maybe do a slide job, pull right in front of you to get that position.
Yeah, most definitely. Going a little further back here, Thomas Bresci sitting there in 6th. Corey Blevins starting in 7th. Timothy Moore in 8th as they're just kind of riding here. Not really too many battles going on, as Tom Bourne, the man out front, has already pulled out to a 9/10 lead over the 88 machine of Joshua Adams.
Corey Blevins and Timothy Moore battling for a top 5 spot in points. Only separation by 2 points between the two drivers, with Timothy Moore ahead of Corey Blevins. But yeah, that race lead has increased to about a second between Tom Bourne and Joshua Adams. As Adams, I gotta look here on my stat sheet here if Adams won a race this season. He did not, and he's only raced for not for the full season though. But hopefully Adams is able to knock off a victory today. That would be pretty cool for Joshua Adams. Best finish was a 3rd place for Joshua Adams. That came at his first start in the series at Iowa Speedway. Alright, and we got any more battles going on here on the racetrack? I'm just trying to scroll through the field here. Not really. I am seeing some close quarters for the top, what was that? From Joshua Adams on back, because it looks like Walker Thomas has caught Joshua Adams, as Joshua Adams is actually losing time. And here we go, almost a 3-wide battle there briefly, almost, not quite. But here comes Walker Thomas for that 2nd spot on the speedway, and we do got a battle for 2nd place and 4th place.
Levi Zielinski, he drives that in hard, gets down there underneath the 88 of Josh Adams. He is wanting to move up into that 3rd position, but I tell you, Joshua Adams gets a good run as he's got some help from the 46 of Tyler Hensley. So Levi is definitely trying hard. He's just not able to get around and clear that 46 machine of Tyler Hensley.
Sometimes drivers would complain, or even race fans for that matter would complain, why are you driving so hard? It's only, right now, lap 17 out of 95. Well, I tell you what, if you can drive hard and not and give your opponent a lot of room on the racetrack and not get into him and all that, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. In my opinion, it creates great racing and it creates a lot of good entertainment as a race fan. As we got that pretty cool battle right here, Joshua Adams, Tyler Hensley, and Levi Zielinski for that 3rd spot on the speedway. Pretty much the closest battle going on right now on track. Hensley on the bottom, Zielinski on the high side. Right in front is the 88, Adams. Adams, ooh, got tight, washed up in front of Zielinski. Zielinski thinking about going 3 wide. Tyler Hensley's like, oh, he's going to go 3 wide. And looked like Zielinski thought better of it. He got some pretty nice paint jobs out there as well. I'm actually liking these 3 guys' paint schemes right here. The more I'm staring, you got that, what is that, the iBuy power machine. Pretty cool. And we got the Infinite Hero machine. I'm actually seeing Oakley. Tyler Hensley.
I'm actually watching Walker Thomas. He is starting to bite into that lead that Tom Bourne has ran.
Ooh.
Walker Thomas is on a mission. He was about 1.58 seconds behind. He's actually closed it up to 1.3 now. So he's actually gaining ground on the 40 of Tom Bourne, who has led every lap so far since the green flag.
Very good eyes, Dave. I wasn't really 100% paying attention to all that. I was paying attention to the paint schemes. They had me distracted. That's just not like me. But tell you what, you are definitely right. Walker Thomas is actually gaining on Tom Bourne. So that's something to keep an eye on before we come across green flag pit stops. I'm going to say within about 10 laps, we'll see some green flag pit stops. And I'm trying to see, has lap times really fallen off, Dave? Let's see here. The best lap of the race was Timothy Moore. What happened to Timothy Moore?
I'm not sure. He's down on pit road as we are focusing on right now. Right side up. He may be short pitting, trying a little bit of pit strategy to gain some position when these guys come back down on the pit road, as he's going to take 4 tires, a full tank of fuel, and get that Bass Pro Chevrolet there back out on the track.
You are absolutely right. He took 4 tires, and now he is coming off pit road right now. And folks, that's one thing you have to do on Homestead Miami Speedway on iRacing, is you have to take the pathways on entry and exit of pit road. If you do not, and you just decide to hit pit road, iRacing itself will black flag you. And I don't think the race officials will automatically clear that black flag just by pitting like that. So you have to utilize the pathway to enter pit road and as well as exiting. Now that's one hard thing about pitting under green, Dave, is sometimes you're trying to carry so much speed on the entrance to that pathway, you're going to go into the grass area, which can cost you a lot of time just before you even hit pit road.
Yeah, most definitely, but I'm actually still watching the 12 of Walker Thomas. It was 1.3 seconds difference between him and the 40 of Tom Bourne. It is now down to 0.8 of a second. So he is definitely gaining on him as we are 24 laps into this race here with only 72 laps remaining. We're looking at maybe a 2 to 3 pit stop here to finish out the race.
Whatever Walker Thomas is doing, I mean, it's working, because he's been gaining 0.2 a lap on Tom Bourne. This time by at the line here. Now remember, lap times always say a story about that race car, including the tires. Here's the differential between Tom Bourne and Walker Thomas. Tom Bourne just ran a 32.313, and Walker Thomas just ran a 32.144. That's 0.2, and that's 2 laps in a row that I've seen so far that he has gained on the race leader. So Walker Thomas is coming. Casey Shue on making a green flag pit stop right now. He's on pit road taking 4 fresh tires, and he's out and away. I was talking about lap times. Let's just see the race leader, Tom Bourne's lap time, since he's been leading since the drop of the green flag. Tom Bourne, best lap time, 31 flat. Last time by, 32.1. So a little over a second slower since the drop of the green flag. So that's how much the tire fall off is so far.
Yeah, and taking a look here, Walker Thomas now only 0.6. He can smell that race lead, but we should be getting pretty soon. We should, yeah, Tyler Hensley down on pit road as we speak with Thomas Presti.
All right, so at the top of the show, Dave, I was actually right on topic as far as the pit stop. I think I said 25 to 30 laps, if I'm not mistaken. We would have to rewind the broadcast after a little later tonight once we're done here tonight. But, yeah, Tyler Hensley, Thomas Presti hitting the pits. We have the 18 car, Cody Tabor, who's actually already a lap down. He's hitting the pits. The 99 machine, Corey Blevins, hitting the pits. So green flag pit stops has started. Actually, it's already started, but see if anybody. Oh, go ahead.
Keeping an eye here on the leaders. Nope, they are not going to be pitting this time by. They are going to stay out on the track. 28 laps they ran since the green flag. Coming on 29, they are going to stay out. Walker Thomas now only 4.5 tenths behind Tom Bourne.
24 machine of Rusty Capel hitting the pits. And he is the only driver right now hitting the pits. Anybody hitting that right now? Oh yeah, Tom Bourne. He's coming down pit road. New race leader, Walker Thomas. 54 machine, as well as Baron Lebosco hitting pit road on the pathway. Now,
Walker Thomas, our new race leader, he is coming. Yep. No, yeah, he is coming down the pathway. He is coming down for his green flag pit stop here on lap 30, as we are now getting ready to complete our first round of green flag pit stops, as it looks like our top 4 are going to go ahead and come down pit road. That's Walker Thomas, Josh Adams, Levi Zielinski, and Patrick McLaurin. That is going to complete our first round of green flag pit stop.
Pit road speed limit 50 miles an hour. Don't speed, don't overdrive the pit box. 2 very easy things to do. Looks like everybody hit their pit box nice and easy there. That was a very good job. I think Patrick McLaurin is in the pits as well. Ooh, that's a crazy race off pit road right there, with Joshua Adams beating Walker Thomas off the pits. Now the cars, they do ghost. As soon as you hit the pit stalls, you are ghosted, which is a very nice thing, because you don't want people running into each other on pit road. It just creates a big old mess.
We do have a new race leader. That is going to be the 46 of Tyler Hensley. He is our new race leader, with Thomas Bresci sitting there in 2nd, Corey Blevins sitting there in 3rd, Joshua Adams in 4th, Timothy Moore. Well, he just dropped down to 6th, but Walker Thomas rounding out your top 5 right now.
Timothy Moore, he was the first guy to pit. One of the early pitters. Where was he beforehand? I'm going to go back and look here. Timothy Moore. I'm just going to see where he was before the pit stops. Timothy Moore was running in 10th place before the pit stops, and currently running in 6th right now. Actually just lost a spot to Walker Thomas. That is 10 lap tire difference between the 2 drivers. Tom Bourne, again, that's about 10 to 11 laps between those 2 drivers. So Timothy Moore, the driver with the oldest tires on the speedway right now, pitting early, man. That's a good thing if you're trying to gain track position, but it can bite you in the long run. Just like this, if you pit a little too early, drivers will try to pass you because they have fresher tires.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now 34 laps into our 95-lap race, giving us 62 laps remaining. We are going to take his time, as we just completed our first round of green flag pit stops, and we are going to take a commercial break, give everybody a chance to get a refill in their drinks. Once again, you are watching the Dre Broadcasting Network, as we are bringing you the Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series, brought to you by Hardline Racing League and Fast Track Sims. We'll be right back.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back to the Homestead Miami Speedway, and you are currently watching the 2017 Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series by the Hardline Racing League. Tyler Hensley, your championship winner, is out front. He is ahead by 1.7 seconds of Thomas Bressi in the 25 machine. Highest Thomas Bressi has been all night. But there is a battle between three cars, I'd like to say, even though they're not battling side by side right now. But they're pretty close together on the speedway. That's Corey Blevins in the 99 sitting in third, Walker Thomas in fourth, and Joshua Adams in fifth. Walker Thomas was the race leader when the green flag pit stops began, but with the early pitting, that has allowed other drivers out front and put Walker Thomas in fourth. Corey Blevins currently using the higher line of the racetrack. Joshua Adams rounding out that top five, really tucked up underneath that 12 truck. 12 drivers on the lead lap with Cody Tabor actually one lap down. Justin Richer actually did not start the race tonight. So technically 13 drivers. So Cody Tabor, the only driver, one lap down. Being said, Dave, that the closest battle on the speedway is between Walker Thomas and Joshua Adams. Joshua Adams just actually playing follow the leader. Kind of like what you would do if you would go north, for a lot further north to Daytona Beach, which is Daytona International Speedway. And I'm actually seeing the 99 of Blevins gaining a little ground on second place, Thomas Bressi, as Tyler Hensley pulls away.
Yeah, Tyler Hensley up to a 2.9 second lead over second place, 25. Of Thomas Bressi. So Hensley, after those green flag pit stops, he is checking out, but our previous race leader, the 40 of Tom Bourne, he is sitting back in 7th position right now.
Tom Bourne, your pole sitter. And I do have to make a correction. Justin Richer is actually the race official tonight. Actually, we do got a battle between Walker Thomas and Joshua Adams side by side down turns 1 and 2. Thomas on the bottom, Adams off that high side. Adams actually got that position off that higher line away from Walker. Down turn number 3, I do see Blevins gaining putting a little pressure on Thomas Bressi. And the more these guys run closer like this, and if they start battling side by side, which should be eventually soon here because Blevins has caught Bressi, Hensley has pulled away. Remember how I said earlier it was like a 1.8 seconds? It is now increased to a 3.7. So Hensley has pulled away. And 88 of Adams going underneath. I believe that's his teammate, the 99 of Blevins. Oh, and the wall goes Thomas Bressi. Thomas Bressi into the outside wall, costing him a number of positions. I'm not seeing any major damage on that number 25 Kelly Blue Book machine. But I tell you what, he was indefinitely in the wall in turns 3 and 4.
Yes, we're going to pull up the Dre broadcast and replay. We are going to focus on the 25 Tyler Bressi. He is running that outside lane. Looks like he just got out of the groove into the loose stuff. Gets up in the wall, holds it. Because they're going to be able to get around him. But it's going to cost him some positions. But it doesn't look like too much damage to that truck of his.
Corey Blevins was just ever so close to the 25 car, almost hitting them, because as soon as Bressi hit that wall, it was like a dead stop. Good eyes by Corey Blevins and good save by Thomas Bressi. So Thomas Bressi's backed up into 6th right now.
Corey Blevins making his way down onto pit road.
Absolutely. So this is going to be the start of the green flag pit stops. And actually, we've had start of green flag pit stops. We've had Timothy Moore, Patrick McLaurin already that hit pit road. Casey Shue hit pit road already. Rusty Capel and Baron Lebosco are already on pit road. Corey Blevins, as David pointed out, is already on pit road.
Tyler Hensley making his way down, our race leader, making his way down on pit road after 24 laps.
Alright, so Hensley hitting the pits. This will be our new race leader, the 88 of Joshua Adams. Walker Thomas second, Levi Zielinski in third, Tom Bourne in fourth. The only drivers that have yet to pit alongside Cody Tabor, who is a lap down. So wondering if these guys are going to hit the pit road. I am seeing a driver hitting the pits. That would be pole sitter Tom Bourne on the pathway. And now, Dave, I got some new information here. If drivers are saying that iRacing is black flagging them if they overshoot or carry too much speed and get off that pathway on the entrance of pit road, and you come back onto that pathway, iRacing does black flag you.
Well, that makes it even more challenging. You have to watch your speed there, as our new race leader Joshua Adams is going to stay out for another lap here. Same with Levi Zielinski and Walker Thomas. So looks like just right now our top 3 and 8th place Cody Tabor all need to come down on the pit road.
Curious when these drivers will pit here. It's just a matter of when. Anybody going to take it this time by? I am not seeing it. So 4 drivers have yet to pit. 3 of them are on the lead lap. That's your top 3. The other one, Cody Tabor in 8th, who is a lap down. He's actually working on 27 laps. '88 of Adams, is he going to pit this time? That would be a no.
Well, it looked like it's going to turn out to be a 3 pit stop night here at Homestead, Miami, as we have 41 laps remaining, and just right now our top 3 still out on the track. I think they might be trying to push it to where they only got to make 1 more pit stop instead of 2.
Yeah, Cody Tabor is hitting the pits right now, and he lasted 27 laps. So I wonder if these drivers are trying to see how far they can make it. I mean, at the same time, the more they're out there, the more they're losing time to the drivers who already had pit, but they'll gain that time back later in the next run.
Yeah, I think the most we've seen anybody go right now is 31 laps. If these guys go 4 more laps, that'll put them 35 laps to go. Not sure they'll be able to make it, Tanner.
That's a big if. If anybody's going to pit right now, then I'd say no, you're not going to make it. Right now, the top 3 do stay out. So coming to the line right now, it will be 28 laps. And you may be right about that whole 31 lap deal. I must have missed that, but that would be really neat if they would all of a sudden try to save fuel, and this race would turn to a fuel mileage race. I mean, the best lap time on the track right now was Tyler Hensley, 31.360, compared to Adams' 32.157. So about 8/10 quicker.
Actually, Tanner, I'm riding on board right now with the 59 of Levi Zielinski. And I tell you what, if you listen to the sound of his engine, he is clutching it in these turns. He is in fuel saving mode here as he's coming into turn 1, and you could hear, actually I think he shuts his truck off completely, trying to save fuel here through turns 1 and 2.
Tires don't seem to be that big of a concern. I am going to listen to Levi. He is. You are right. He is holding down the clutch, shutting off. Well, actually, he's not 100% shutting off the truck. He is just turning off. He's just clutching it, holding down that clutch, which brings the RPMs down to 1,000 RPM in 4th gear. And that saves gas.
I just watched Joshua Adams. He's doing the same thing. Same with Walker Thomas. So our top 3 are trying to push us as far as they can. They are clutching it in turns 1, 2, 3, and 4, trying to save fuel. So it looks like our top 3 are on a fuel mileage. They're trying to win this on fuel mileage here, as they are now staying out 30 laps since their last pit.
Dave is correct. 31 laps is the most anybody has gone so far in this race. And the top three have just now hit 31 laps. If they can continue to run out there, it will be the longest anybody has been out there all night long. And we have 35 laps to go. Adams, is he to pit? Adams to pit.
Levi Zielinski is going to stay out. Walker Thomas going to stay out. They are going to push it. So they maybe have been saving a little bit more fuel than Joshua Adams. So it looks like Levi Zielinski is going to be our new race leader here on lap 62 of 95. Just 34 laps remaining.
It's been 32 laps since they last pitted, the longest anybody has been out there. So that's a record tonight between Zielinski and Thomas. Anybody pitting right now between the two drivers? Yes, sir. Coming down pit road. Both drivers to pit road. So it's been 32 laps since they last pitted, and we have 34 laps remaining. That, you would have to save 2 laps of fuel once you get out there.
Yeah, that's well, we got 34 coming on 33 laps. They're going to have to save 1 to 2 laps, but they are going to have 30-some laps to save that. So I have a feeling a little bit early we're going to see them clutching it in, trying to save. Meanwhile, that is going to hand the race lead over to the 46 of Tyler Hensley. Tyler Hensley leading 20 laps so far tonight. Tom Bourne leading 28 laps. Josh Adams leading 10. Levi Zielinski leading 2 laps. Walker Thomas also leading 2 laps. So this is turning into a fuel mileage, a pit strategy race here tonight.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I mean, I love this kind of race. This is awesome racing. Some people would say, this is boring racing. Not really. I mean, if everybody's been paying attention to what these drivers are had, as far as fuel is concerned, man, it's just like you got 3 drivers that rolled the dice. They're going to go for it at the end of this race. And those 3 drivers, what do they have to lose? They got nothing to lose. The only thing they got to lose is the race. And what Hensley, Blevins, and Bourne, and Thomas Bresci, those drivers, they at least got to pit one more time, hands down. It's been the most out of them 4 drivers. It's been 14 laps. 2 of those drivers, actually 15 laps now. 2 of those drivers are 14 laps, and Tom Bourne's been 12 laps. So they're right now all in the same ballpark, but they at least got to pit one more time.
Yeah, most definitely. So, you know, it's a final race of the season. Championship's going to be crowned. Tyler Hensley's pretty much going to walk away with the championship this season. So they're not battling for the championship, but these drivers want that momentum of getting the win here tonight to carry into the start of next season. So we are seeing 3 drivers, as you said. It is coming down to fuel mileage. Will they be able to make it without having to pit? Our top 4 right now are going to have to pit one more time. So they are going to lose some time. Question is, can their tires hold up long enough to hold them up? Because I have a feeling that those top 4, when they come down for pit, I don't think they're going to take tires. They may take 2 tires, but they're going to get fuel just enough to make it and get out there. I don't think it's going to be a 4-tire pit stop with fuel.
You want to know who I think is in the catbird seat? I'm probably winning this race if things go his way. Circle him right now. He just passed Thomas Bresci for 5th, the 88 of Joshua Adams. Now, he did pit 2 laps after Zielinski and Walker Thomas, but he's got fresher tires. He's only 10.5 seconds behind the race leader Tyler Hensley. But right now, if he just paces himself and saves as much fuel as he can, he could make it to the end. And he is currently just by a 2-lap gap difference on pitting of Walker Thomas and Zielinski. Joshua Adams put about 9 seconds on Walker Thomas and Levi Zielinski. Walker Thomas and Zielinski, they are 7th and 8th place right now, and they're near each other. So those 2 drivers are really going to try to make it to the end, and they got more fuel than anybody else are on the track. It's just Joshua Adams tried playing the same strategy, pitted about a lap or 2 earlier than Thomas and Zielinski. Whoa, this is exciting.
Well, actually, Tanner, it's I'm on board right now with the 12 of Walker Thomas. he's already started clutching it in a little bit.
He knows he's got to save 2 laps. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, coming on the entry of the turn, the 12 of Walker Thomas, clutching it. Let's go on board with the 59 of Levi Zielinski. I think he's doing the same because he's not really making the ground up there on Walker Thomas. So I think he's also clutching in as he's coming into turn number 3. No, he's not.
He's not, but he's really running, I think, down the straightaways at least 3/4 throttle because he's not gaining whatsoever on Walker Thomas, even though they pitted together. And just by hearing the tone of his engine, it just sounds like just a little bit he's running 3/4 throttle, just a little bit, not 100% running full throttle, which can save a little gas. But you really want to start clutching it. Casey Shue hitting the pit road. He has to pit. That Casey Shue was in 6th. So Walker Thomas now 6th. Zielinski in 7th. And Joshua Adams has really gained on Tom Bourne for 3rd, really starting to catch him.
Well, here's the thing too, Tanner, we got to look at. Right now, Tyler Hensley is the man out front. He's got a 7.2 second lead over the 99 of Corey Blevins. However, there's 24 laps to go. At any moment, they could break off down into pit road and be able to have enough fuel to make it the remainder of the race. So these guys can go down pit road at any moment and be able to make it. But what we are watching is the 12 of Walker Thomas and the 59 of Levi Zielinski. They are clutching it in. They are in fuel conservation mode. They are going to try to complete this 95-lap race here at Homestead, Miami on just 2 pit stops, while everyone else, just as I spoke, Tyler Hensley, Corey Blevins down on pit road.
And this will give the race lead to Joshua Adams, who passed Tom Bourne already. As I previously mentioned, he was gaining on Bourne. So Joshua Adams in the ballpark, is he saving fuel now? I gotta hear his car engine. He's not. Sounds like he's actually driving it pretty hard, actually. I shouldn't say driving it pretty hard, he's just not holding down the clutch. Tom Bourne hitting the pit road.
Now here's the difference with Josh Adams. There is a 1 lap difference between Josh Adams and Walker Thomas and Levi Zielinski. He came down pit road first. Levi and Walker stayed out 1 more lap before they pitted. He's going to have to save 3 laps of fuel to be able to make it. Man, this is exciting, Tanner. It's coming down. Which driver can save the fuel and be able to make this race?
Thomas Bresci almost, when he entered the pit road, he almost annihilated the entrance barrels there. He had to brake pretty hard to avoid them. But you are right. Joshua Adams is actually pulling away, but he's not saving gas. Walker Thomas and Zielinski are, though. That's a 12-second gap between 1st to 2nd.
Well, here's another kicker for you, Tanner. Right now, Tyler Hensley sitting in 4th position. He is 17 seconds behind Levi Zielinski. He is 28.9 seconds behind Josh Adams. We have 20 laps to go. Can Tyler Hensley on his tires, he did take 4 tires and fuel. On his new tires and fuel, is there enough laps for him to catch them and come away with the win? So even though Josh Adams, Walker Thomas, Levi Zielinski are going to make it on a 2 pit stop, does Tyler Hensley have enough time? He has cut it down to 15.8 seconds now behind Levi Zielinski. Can he catch them and pass them, even though he is on a 3 pit stop strategy compared to our top 3 that are running a 2 pit stop strategy?
I don't know, Dave. You want, in my honest opinion, Tyler Hensley is going to have to hope, in my opinion, folks. Tyler Hensley, he is entering turn 1 right now. The race leader just passed start-finish line. Coming off turn 2, leader's now in turn 1. That and Hensley has got to pass the 54, the 18, and eventually he's got to catch up to other traffic on the speedway. With 18 laps to go, you are really begging for the top three to run out of gas. That's just my opinion. I don't think if the top three can make it, Hensley ain't gonna win this race.
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't see Hensley catching up to the top three drivers unless they run out of fuel.
I'm also taking a look right now. We only got 4 drivers left on the lead lap, and that's our top 4 right now, Tanner.
Yep. And that top 4 is going to consist of Joshua Adams, Walker Thomas, Levi Zielinski, and Tyler Hensley. Great strategy call, though, in my opinion, between the top 3 drivers, making this a 2-stop race.
Well, we just saw Tom Bourne and Corey Blevins. They got around the race leader. They are back on the lead lap now. As also the 81 machine of Patrick McLaurin getting around the 88 of Josh Adams. That's putting him down to 1 lap down. So he is just 1 lap down now. So we now have 6 cars back on the lead lap. I think the 88 of Josh Adams, we're going to go back on into the cockpit. I think he's in fuel saving mode now.
16 laps to go, coming to 15 to go this time by. Drivers are the race leaders down turn 3 and 4. Let's hear what he does down turn 1 here. 15 to go. Backs off really early. He's not on the gas, but yet again he's not clutching it. I guess backing off really early, that does help too.
Yeah, most definitely. He's probably not running full throttle here down the backstretch, as I only seen him get up to about 170 mile an hour. So as we see Walker Thomas and them doing almost 180, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are 15 laps to go. We are going to take our final commercial break of the night. Give everybody a chance to get a refill in their drinks, because this is going to be an exciting finish here at Homestead, Miami. We'll be right back here on the Dre Broadcasting Network.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Fuel mileage has been the biggest concern in the last 30 laps of this race. Levi Zielinski and Walker Thomas have notched it down to about a second and a half. It is now down to a 1.2 second gap between first and second place. Zielinski's in second now. Joshua Adams, your race leader. Zielinski and Thomas have been clutching it. Adams has not. Adams just really has backed it off really early, entering the corners, which has allowed Zielinski and Thomas to gain time. This is a fuel mileage race to the end. Tyler Hensley as well has gained on these bad boys up front. It was a 9-second gap. It is now decreased to a 5.6 about 2 laps ago. Wow, Hensley's really coming, and he's got tires. So, man, oh man, this is going to be turned into a flop. Which one of these top 4 drivers is going to win this race?
Yeah, because 5th place Corey Blevins there, he is about 15 seconds behind the leader, so he's not going to be able to catch him in 8 laps unless we get a caution. But Josh Adams still leading here as he's now led 27 laps. Levi Zielinski, he has caught Josh Adams. He is on that back bumper. Walker Thomas, he's a little ways back from Zielinski, about 6/10 behind Zielinski. So, looks like right now we have a battle brewing for the lead.
Absolutely. This is for the top spot. Fuel mileage between these 2 drivers, with Zielinski having about a lap more fuel, 1 lap more fuel than Adams. I don't know. You think Zielinski can probably just save gas, just ride behind Adams and kind of go for it on the last lap? Well, we got 6 laps to find that out.
Meanwhile, we can't forget about the 46 Tyler Hensley. He has closed that gap even more. He is just 4.2 seconds behind the leader, 3.2 seconds behind Walker Thomas. He is coming a man on a mission. But as they are getting ready to cross the start-finish line, 5 laps remaining.
Oh boy, folks, you got Adams and Zielinski 1-2, separated by a 10th. They're nose to bumper. 6/10 back is Walker Thomas. He's on the same strategy as Zielinski. And Tyler Hensley, who pitted 10 laps prior to the top 3 guys, is coming like crazy. He's already notched down 2 seconds. It's down to 3.5 and counting lower.
Now the question is, does Josh Adams have the fuel to make it? Does Levi? Does Walker? So we got to watch him. Are they going to have the fuel to make it? We know Levi and Walker was clutching it. Josh Adams was just backing off, but was not clutching it. Tyler Hensley, he ain't got to worry about fuel. He only pitted 19 laps ago. He has got enough. He has got 4 fresh stickers. Now only 2.9 seconds, 2.8 behind Zielinski, who has overtaken Josh Adams.
Top spot, challenge for the lead. Levi Zielinski, Joshua Adams. Zielinski takes the lead. Joshua Adams trying doing everything he can to play defense. Did not work. Zielinski out front in the last 3 laps to go here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
But here comes Walker Thomas. He is 3/10 behind Josh Adams. Tyler Hensley, he is only 1.9 seconds, 1.8 behind Josh Adams now. So he is coming.
Adams the pit.
So
he's coming.
Yep, Adams did not have the fuel, did not save enough to be able to make it. The question is, does Levi Zielinski, 2 laps to go, him and Walker Thomas, same pit strategy. Did they save enough fuel to go 2 more laps? Tyler Hensley in 3rd. He is about 2.2 seconds now, 2.1 behind Levi Zielinski.
It's been 32 laps for Levi Zielinski and Walker Thomas. The most anybody has gone is 32 laps, and that was Zielinski and Thomas. Right now, they're going to go and break another record on how the distance you can go on fuel. And that is Zielinski and Thomas.
White flag is out, Tanner. White flag.
White flag is out here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Hensley, I don't think is going to get him. He might get second out of this, but he's battling side by side, not for position on the speedway with a lap driver. White flag for Zielinski and Thomas. Turn 3 and 4. Don't run out off turn number 4. Levi Zielinski will go the distance at Homestead Miami Speedway. Walker Thomas in 2nd, and Tyler Hensley finishes 3rd, with Tyler Hensley winning the 2017 Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series Championship. Wow, what a finish. All right. Woohoo! Fuel mileage, I loved it.
Yep, it came down to fuel mileage. Levi Zielinski and Walker Thomas had made it 32 laps, 34 laps since their last pit. They are now. The question is, does Levi Zielinski get enough fuel to do a burnout?
Hopefully. All right. With that being said, we do have a request from league organizer to bring him in for the championship post race. So should we go ahead and do that right now? Let's bring in Cody Tabor and Tyler Hensley right now. Cody Tabor, the league organizer. Bring in Cody Tabor and Tyler Hensley. And Cody, this was a phenomenal race here for the championship. And Tyler Hensley, congratulations on winning the 2017 championship for the Truck Series here. I do believe, Cody, you wanted to do a championship post race.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity to bring me up here, Dave. First of all, Tyler, how does it feel to be crowned a Hardline Truck Series champion?
It's awesome. It's been a season full of work. Honestly, man, I don't know. I don't have anything like super inspirational to say or anything like that, but everything I did from the second week of August through the rest of the season was all for Dad. So this one's for him.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, I mean, Tyler's had a rough season here, battling for this championship with trials and tribulations of getting wrecked in a few races and then the loss of his father. So just want to say congratulations to you, Tyler, and all your crew at JTM Motorsports. So I want to thank them, and got to thank you too, Dave and Tanner, for broadcasting this series for us.
Yeah, I can't say enough. You guys do a phenomenal job. I'd like to give Casey and Thomas a shout out, as well as Barron and Patrick for being awesome teammates, being there for us this year. Definitely means a lot. If we didn't work together at those plate tracks, we would have never got the points or the wins that we got. So it definitely means a lot to have them here. Honestly, if I could, if it's okay, I'd like to have them up here at some point.
Who were the drivers again?
I think you was talking about Thomas and Casey there.
Oh, Thomas Bresci and Casey Chu, yeah. Let's bring them up here into the booth for the team here. Thomas Bresci and Casey Chu, you are in the booth here for the championship presentation of 2017 Teen Trucks. Take it away, guys.
Hi.
Yeah.
Well,
basically what I was going to say there, Thomas, Casey, if you want to congratulate Tyler on his championship, and if you got anything to say for Tyler throughout the season. I know it was a rough one getting here, so take it away.
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people kind of know, a lot of the drivers kind of know what Tyler went through, especially the last part of this year. So, I mean, I know him. I mean, we both know him on a obviously a more personal level than just teammates and stuff. So we know this really means a lot to him, and it's he's something he worked really hard for and deserved. And so, I mean, personally, I couldn't be any more proud just to see him get it done, because I know he really wanted it, and it's awesome to see him get it. That's all. So.
Yeah, no. I remember last year, never racing the day after my grandpa died. It was the hardest thing I ever done, even though it's just still sim racing. But he found the strength the past couple weeks and he got it done, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
all right. Well, with that being said, congratulations, guys. You guys worked really well as a team as far as I've been watching here throughout the weeks of Hardline Truck Racing here. And talk about this race, Tyler Hensley, you did not take the fuel strategy run. You decided just to kind of go for it with tires, and you almost got it to get that victory and the championship at the same time. But take us through the last 30 laps there. Do you think you probably would have maybe caught if there was a couple more laps? Probably, if they were saving fuel.
Honestly, I think 5-10 more laps, I would have been there. The way this new tire and track model has been working, seems like since we got in here, I think it's going to be a lot better, but it's definitely going to be something to wrap our minds around, especially as we cross over to the Cup car next year. it really rubbers in very well from what I could tell, and you can really tell a big difference as far as, you know, no rubber on the track to having a good bit on the track like we had at the end of this thing. Yeah, you're right. I opted out of the fuel strategy and into just trying to go for it for sure speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And your teammates and mentioned that you're a hard work. You worked hard for this championship, and I 100% agree. In 19 starts, you did capture 2 wins, 11 top 5s and 16 top 10s by winning Talladega. And I do believe you won Kentucky, according to my stat sheet right here. I'm a stat guy, and
Yes, sir.
you led a little. I don't have the results after Homestead right now, but you did. I for sure lead more than 150 laps this season. And I tell you what, according to your stat sheet right here, since I'm a stat guy in whatever league I'm looking at, you worked really hard to get that championship, even though you had a couple of dismal finishes as far as Eldora and New Hampshire and Phoenix. But I tell you what, you still kept it in there. Consistency got you that championship, and it just came down to the end.
Yeah, I mean, I had some stout competition. Honestly, all these guys in here are great drivers. They're great racers. I can't say anything bad about any of them. It's unfortunate that that Michael couldn't be here tonight. I was really looking forward to racing him for it, but honestly, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I walked away last weekend with the lead, and I came here tonight with one goal in mind.
All right, one final question before we let you guys celebrate as a team for this championship. Any future plans for like Hardline Racing League or anything like that for you for sim racing?
Oh yeah, I plan on doing this as long as I can. For a lot of us that are doing this, it's the closest we'll ever get to the real thing again. But yeah, next year, like I was saying, we're going to the Cup Cars, and I'm looking forward to that season. I'm going to go try and grab another title there.
It's gonna be a lot of fun in them Cup Cars, especially when you go to the short tracks. Those things are just crazy, and can be a lot of wrecks. But that's just the nature of that kind of racing.
That's very true. I'm excited for that car. I think, you know, a lot of these guys in here are ready for it. I know I am. I know my team is. I think we're doing some recruitment races here pretty soon. So, but yeah, just again, a couple shout outs to Casey, Thomas, Patrick, as well as Barron, and then there's also Arjun Patel, and then of course I'd like to give a shout out to you guys and Cody as well for broadcasting the league and putting on such a great show.
All right, Tyler. Well, congratulations on the championship and your hard working with your teammates of Thomas Bresci and Casey Shue. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
thanks Dave
Thank
and
you.
Tanner for broadcasting there for the season.
Thank you, guys, as they're going to go and celebrate the championship here at Homestead Miami Speedway. But don't go away. We still got more drivers to talk to, and that is going to be race winner Levi Zielinski. Let's talk to Levi Zielinski on that fuel strategy here. Levi Zielinski, do you have a copy?
I got you, Tanner.
Man, that was a whale of a finish. I didn't think you were going to make it, quite honestly, because every driver, I was literally had my calculator out, and the furthest we've seen was in the final 30 laps. That distance was 32 laps. That was between you and Walker, and you guys increased that to 33 laps, actually 34 laps. Take us through probably the last 35 laps when you're coming down pit road for that final time.
Well, the funny thing is, Tanner, I was actually saving the run before a little bit at the end. I figured if I could try to stretch at least one more lap out of it, I'd have a better chance of doing it the second time around. So that was my strategy, was basically saving that second run and then get this last run in and just go.
Yeah, absolutely. And you came from the 5th spot tonight. You were up and down the leaderboard at the start of the like 7th to 5th, and then you climb yourself back up there within the top 5, and it looked like you and Walker, I don't know if you guys are communicating with each other or not, but man, you guys hit the nail on the head. And I thought Joshua Adams may have been the spoiler, but he did end up pitting, and so that had been a close call for you. Do you think you would how close were you on fuel, by the way? I have to ask.
Let's just put it this way, I can't do a burnout. I mean, literally, I have nothing left. I sputtered at the line, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I say from the time that, you know, I ran on that last run until basically then. I mean, I had to pick it up a little bit because I knew Tyler was coming and he had fresh tires, you know, and all that. So I had to just say, well, here it goes. Let's give it all we got.
Yeah, you're pretty much racing for honor this season, realistically, because you've only had 4 starts to the season. Your first being at Chicagoland, and you had the first 2 races as a dismal finish, Chicagoland and Las Vegas. And then you notched up with a top 10 finish at Lucas Oil, and then you come away with the win here at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's got to be a pretty good feeling to at least win on the final race to carry that momentum into a new season.
Oh yeah, I couldn't have done it without Rusty. It was kind of funny. Rusty told me last week when I left Lucas Oil, he's like, "Man, you're winning Wednesday." I'm like, "Yeah, right." And I was like, he's like, "No, you're winning." I'm like, "All right, I'll win." So it's kind of how it got brought about. I mean, I raced in Hardline the inaugural year that they did it, and I took home 2 wins that season. So it's kind of good to be back in, you know, victory lane and Hardline, of course.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been really fun up here in the booth to watch these guys race. I've been having fun personally on the Wednesdays that I've been calling this series, so it's been a lot of fun up here. I'm sure it's a lot of fun in the cockpit booth. Any future plans as far racing the Hardline Racing League or anywhere else within the iRacing sim?
As of right now, I'm kind of open to everything. Wednesdays, I think, will be my open day, so Hardline is always an option there. I always, of course, you know, I run 3WR with you and all that, so that's always my Sundays and Mondays going on. But for right now, I probably will stick to Wednesdays because I like racing with Rusty. Me and him do a good team together, so we got each other's backs.
Yeah, absolutely. You're fun to race around on the racetrack there, even though I like trading paint with you from time to time.
Always, Tanner. You know that.
All right, Levi. Well, congratulations on the win tonight. What a whale of a finish to come away with it on fuel mileage, and we hope to speak to you again soon.
No problem. Just to let you guys know, I'd like to thank Dave and Tanner, you know, obviously for broadcasting this. My sponsors, Oakley, Infinite Hero. They do a great job on the car, everything like that. Like to thank my teammate Rusty. He's a great guy. He's coached me through, you know, this season and the last few races, you know, to get my confidence back in the car because I have had a rough season so far in both leagues. So it's just great to have you guys here, and thanks, Cody, for having me back in the league for these last few races. I appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Levi. Congratulations on the win.
No problem. Thank you, Tanner.
That was Levi Zielinski, folks, finishing position number 1, winning it on a fuel mileage, an impressive fuel mileage, I may add. But let's talk to another driver who finished in that top 3, who finished in 2nd place, another driver on the same strategy as Levi Zielinski, Walker Thomas. And Walker Thomas, do you have a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, I asked Levi the same question, but now I want to get your opinion. How in the world did you save 34 laps of fuel? That looked like you guys were saving fuel like right out of the gates as soon as you left pit road. But I tell you what, man, you were in 2nd place. Do you think you would have had anything for Levi if it just came down to you 2 guys without the pressure of Tyler Hensley with about 2 seconds back?
I think it definitely could have made an effect on it. Somehow, it must have been the way Levi was saving. He had just enough to basically push the car an extra lap, and I just didn't have enough fuel to really push it at all. I was still saving coming in to the white flag, so he was, I don't know if he was doing it different than I was or just doing it better, but he was just able to get that car probably a half a gallon maybe all it was, but made that big of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to ask you, and you're going to be the first guy I've asked about this all tonight, is how were the tires? Because the reason why I'm asking is because that first set of pit stops, you were the race leader, and by the time the first round of pit stops were finished, you were like in 5th or 6th. Was there a huge tire advantage out there, or were the tires kind of like falling off really a lot, and you weren't really allowed to gain that ground?
The fall off was really kind of different. The track temperature was a little bit cooler, so it wasn't wearing as much. So pitting that 1 lap earlier gave everybody that advantage, and there just wasn't the fall off to get me back up there. It just, with that 1 lap, just basically shot them ahead, and with them being so even on tires, you couldn't get back up there. But I was also saving on that run, so I don't know what it would have been like if I was going all out and doing the 4-stop strategy like they were, but it was definitely making it more difficult with how even they were.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you're going to finish the Fast Track Sim Hardline Truck Series with 11 starts, 2 DNFs, 3 wins, 5 top 5s, and 9 top 10s. With a little over 100 laps led. I say you are a bad, fast guy out there on the speedway. Any future plans as far as running Hardline or any other sim? Because I do believe, with that being said, if you do run in the future with Hardline, you're going to be a threat for the championship, in my opinion. Any future plans?
Yeah, I definitely hope to be full-time here. I'm not sure, I haven't talked to Cody if they're going to do trucks. I know for sure I'm going to try to do full-time on the Cup side that they're starting up. And we'll see what I can do. Early on in the season I couldn't make a lot of races due to school or work. And we'll see what I can do come next season. Hopefully I'll be able to go full-time and make a run at the championship because I feel like I could be a threat.
Absolutely, and I really believe that personally. I mean, you were really strong at quite a few certain racetracks. Chicagoland was the big one. I thought you were the strongest at, from what I've seen, and I think you're going to be a good threat for the championship if they do run the trucks. It's been really fun up here watching the booth. Walker, thank you for taking your time to come talk with us tonight, and congratulations on the top 3 finish, and really good job, good work on the fuel strategy.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for doing this all season. It's been a lot of fun to come up here and talk to you guys a lot, and hopefully I get to talk to you again next season.
That was Walker Thomas, folks, finishing in the 2nd position. Congratulations to him there. And Dave, and we still have Cody up here, so we're going to get Cody involved here. Dave, Cody, start with Dave here. Your final thoughts on Hardline Racing League and the championship season, especially in this race here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Start with you, Dave.
Well, it's been a great season, a lot of hard-fought battles, great drivers, great league. Tell you, it's exciting watching this race come down to fuel mileage. You know, watching these guys put it all on the line just to come away with the win here tonight at Homestead. Definitely a great league. Check them out. Good place to race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And folks, if you want to check out this league, it's www.hardlineracing.com. That is, once again, www.hardlineracing.com. And Cody, of course, we have you here, and back up here is Tyler Hensley. Final thoughts, guys, or any kind of presentation you would like to give?
Well, I hate to be biased, I mean, because it's my league, but I mean, I just got to say these guys worked hard all throughout the season, battling for this championship. I mean, coming down to it, I mean, this was the first year that we took the chase away in the truck series to kind of like come down to points, and I like the way it come down to. I mean, because it gave a reason for drivers to really fight for the championship, and bringing stage racing in even helped it a little bit more, and even helped drivers that got caught up in a wreck late in the race after the stage. I mean, it helped them out a lot too. But I mean, these guys just worked hard all season. Through different changes with the truck and tire models. I mean, like we got a new tire model today for the trucks. I mean, this has really been a really good season. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, and I mean, this is the same with the Contender Series on Friday nights. But I'm looking forward to it, moving our Xfinity Series to Wednesday nights next season, and launching the Cup Car League on Friday nights. I'm looking forward to the Cup Car. Won't be racing much of the Xfinity side, as I'll be adamant in that series. So, looking forward to racing Cup, and maybe we'll have a better season than we did this year in trucks.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with what Cody just said right there, for sure. It's been a fun for me personally and a race fan to call the series with you guys. I had a lot of fun at certain racetracks, and I hope to do it again in the future for sure. It was a lot of fun calling up here with Dave. But with that being said here, we would like to thank Cody, for the league organizer, for putting on such a great show and allowing us to broadcast for the league here on Wednesday nights. Thanks to Dave as well for the double duty he pulls each and every week on calling the action and doing all the amazing camera work that and all the cameras he receives. Just thank you, Dave, for all that, and thanks to everybody else for providing such a great show and everything that they do. I'm Tanner Sharp. This is David Everly. Thank you once again tonight for watching Dre Broadcasting Network. Good night, everybody.